Hey, welcome back to Comic Drive. This is episode 5 of Comic Drive. Welcome to episode 4 of Comic Drive, where I drive Jake and talk about comics.
So what are we going to talk about today? Lobo?
Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
Lobo. What do you know about the main man?
That he's overpowered.
And?
He's awesome.
Okay.
He's the main man.
The main man. He's the last Sarnian.
The last of his kind, because he killed all the rest of his people.
He killed all the rest of them. I believe he created a virus to kill everyone, so he's also like it's Matt. My boy went to have it. No, he's very intelligent, but he doesn't really do it. He's just basically a space biker. Yeah. I was playing Lego DC villains, and Lobo can fly around on this flying dolphin.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, what? And I had to look it up. And there was a point in time where he had flying dolphin.
He had a flying dolphin.
He had a flying dolphin.
Huh.
Yeah. So I absolutely love Lobo.
He's probably one of the best characters, I think.
He was on Justice League and the Superman show. He was voiced by Brad Garrett, the older brother from Everybody Loves Raymond. I think he was a good voice for Lobo.
Come on, ladies, let's dance.
Didn't he go to heaven and get kicked out, and then got kicked out of hell?
That is something. That's something I'm not sure. I always meant to look into this, but it's my understanding that like Lobo died and went to heaven for some reason. I guess maybe some good deeds. He does do good deeds, but he's not necessarily a good person, I guess. He went to heaven, or he went to hell. We can't remember the order of them. Like, he probably went to hell first, realistically. And he was like, I like hell down here. Yeah.
He was messing everything up down there.
When he apparently like tried to take over and nearly took over hell. So then they were like, nope, get out of here and send him to heaven. Or they tried to mess up heaven and take over heaven and they sent him down to hell. Either way, he got kicked out of both. And they, I don't know if they put a curse on him or whatever. They're just like, nope, neither of us want him, so he's immortal. He's immortal because he cannot go to heaven, cannot go to hell. Because neither of them want him. I was like, that's badass. That is badass.
Didn't he regenerate just from his blood, too?
Probably. I know at one point Wolverine has regenerated for a single drop of his blood, and it's like, how do you know that's the last drop of his blood? Or like, should there be 100 Wolverines running around? Which explains how he's on every team in the 90s.
There's multiple of them.
There's multiple Wolverines.
Maybe there's multiple Lobos.
Multiple Lobos. Well, there kind of was. This was something I'm not as familiar with. I've prefacing everything of that, so maybe I'm not familiar with Lobo at all. In the new 52, they made like this new weird streamlined Lobo, and people didn't like it. And I guess at some point, original recipe Lobo came and killed that guy. I can't remember.
May have been two Lobos.
May have been two Lobos.
Why would they try to streamline him? He's supposed to be this hardened space biker.
They made him, there's like an image of it right here.
Right there.
Yeah, can you picture that? He was like sleek. He was small and skinny and like pretty boy. What? Emo Lobo.
At that point, just make a new character.
No, I know. That's exactly it. It was the new 52. They were trying new things. Some of it worked, some of it didn't.
Make it like, oh, Lobo had a kid that he didn't know about, and this is mini Lobo.
They can't. He has a kid, he'll kill.
But that he doesn't know
can't
about.
Be more than one Sarnian. Yeah, I guess he does plow bitches.
So he may have kids that he doesn't know about.
It is such a non-me thing to say. Plows bitches. Lobo has been known to get intimate with women and have sexual intercourse with them.
Because he's the main man.
He's the main man. He's a biker. Got a big chain. There was a big DC Marvel crossover at one point in time, and fans got to vote on who would win. And I remember a lot of people were mad because Wolverine versus Lobo, and Wolverine won, I believe. Or did Lobo win? They kind of both went over behind the bar, and I remember, I don't see Wolverine winning either, but I see Wolverine winning the fan vote. But it was a fan vote, and Wolverine won, and so many people were like, no, Wolverine would not beat Lobo. Like,
no, Lobo would.
Lobo goes toe-to-toe with Superman. Yeah. Like, Lobo is a Wolverine capable of going toe-to-toe with Superman. There's no way Lobo wins. This motorcycle's trying to come around us, but not going to work for him.
Maybe it's Lobo.
No, it's a motorcycle, not a dolphin. So, back to just Lobo being a weird and badass. The Lobo I'm most familiar with is the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special, which I used to always call the Lobo Parliamentary Christmas Special. I was wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Paramilitary Christmas Special. And basically, the Easter Bunny takes out a hit on Santa Claus. And it's up to Lobo to go take him on. And I sent you a video. You never watched it though. Somebody made it for a college film festival study. Not festival. Somebody was a college film, and they put like $25,000. I don't understand how film school works when you have that kind of money, but they got Andrew Braniarski to play Lobo, who was like the perfect Lobo in my opinion. He was Butterfinger in Hudson Hawk.
Butterfinger.
He's been in so many other things. He was Leatherface in some of the more recent Chainsaw Massacre movies. Anyway, big dude, perfect for Lobo in my opinion. But yeah, the comic and the show is just so basically he goes to the North Pole because he's like, Santa Claus didn't give me no goddamn bikers. So I can't remember exactly what. But he's been on Santa's naughty list forever. So Santa Claus always ignores Lobo. So he's like, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of money from the Easter Bunny, and this pisses me off. I don't like Santa Claus. And he goes and it's all like Black Ops secret stuff, the elves, and he's just taking all these elves out. And it's really good. It's fun. It's fun. And he gets to Santa. I don't think he kills Santa because the Easter Bunny tries to double cross him at some point.
So he sides with Santa?
No, but his Easter Bunny in a cage. Blows a hole in the Easter Bunny's head. Does he kill Santa? I don't know if he kills Santa or not. Once again, these aren't really pre-planned. Maybe they should be. Maybe we should pre-plan the subject so I can do some reading on it. But I'm just talking off my head about Lobo. Where I first discovered Lobo and fell in love with Lobo is he says bastich. I think it's a combination of bastard and bitch. He filthy bastiches. So there was a series called Young Justice. Not the TV series. Do you watch Young Justice?
I've seen it.
Lobo was in an episode and he gets his thumb cut off. And his thumb was just there. And then, like, you remember how, like, the end credit scene that always just show something over the credits? Yeah, and that one they showed Lobo's thumb.
Just his thumb.
Yeah, just his thumb in the middle of the night. Did a bird come take it? I can't remember. Didn't do anything. Nothing happened. It was just Lobo's thumb. But not that Young Justice. There was a comic called Young Justice, and it spun out of the JLA, where a magic spell had been cast where adults went to one dimension and kids stayed in the regular one. It was opposite, like all the adults were like, oh no, all the kids have suddenly disappeared, and all the kids were like, oh no, all the adults have suddenly disappeared. There was also an episode of Justice League, and I can't remember if Shazam played a part in both of those or not.
Because it's kind of both.
Yeah, you can go both between them. Anyway, it was the whole thing, and it was like Robin, Tim Drake, Robin, Impulse, whoever all the kids were at the time, started this team Young Justice. I believe Superboy was on it. And they kind of almost made them seem younger than they actually were. Like this should have been like 12 to 14, I guess, but this, I think, playing them. This also might have been the art. They were younger kids, and there was I want to say Arrowette. It was like a Green Arrow girl, and there's a sand person. Anyway, it became its own series, Young Justice. And I actually liked it quite a bit, and I started reading it when Lobo was on the team, and I was like, what? And something had happened where Lobo had de-aged, and he was like a teenager or a kid. It was really fun.
Kid Lobo?
Yeah, and actually, now I'm having visions. I remember he died in that, and he obviously came back. But I'm wondering now, because I remember him specifically getting shot, because his healing factor wasn't the same, because he was just younger. I remember him just like standing in front of a machine gun and just getting mowed to bits. And I feel like I'm making this up. There will be a picture of it here. I'll put a picture of Bloody Lobo up anyway, but I feel like, yeah, he regenerated a bunch of tiny Lobos came out of his blood. And that, I'm making that up. That couldn't have happened.
It'd be cool if it did.
It'd be
a bunch of little tiny Lobos
cool if it did.
around.
I feel like out of this corpse, like all these tiny Lobos got out, but that can't be true. Because I also specifically remember that being when Lobo died. And he came back from that somehow. As an adult again. I'm not prepared for this. I always talk about how much I love Lobo. I think I just love the look of Lobo and the idea of Lobo. I don't read a lot of Lobo comics. I also feel like Lobo might not be able to carry his own book, although sometimes he does, but I feel like he's just better as a supporting character that shows up sometimes.
That mercenary that everybody fears.
Yeah. Well, there was a Marvel versus DC, or is it JLA Avengers, George Perez. It was like the last Marvel DC crossover. And it was like just stuff was happening. And it was mainly focused on the Justice League and the Avengers. But there was like, just people kept blipping throughout the universe. They were just showing like one panel of it. And I can't remember any other examples of them. And I wish I did. But the one I remember was just like, Lobo popped into the middle of the Shi'ar Empire, and it was like just Lobo versus the Imperial Guard, like Gladiator and everything. I was like, screw the JLA Avengers. I want to see Lobo versus the Imperial Guard, because like that would be just so cool. But yeah, like I always prefer just when Lobo shows up in other people's books, right? Did you watch Krypton?
No, I don't think so.
The show on Sci-Fi about Superman's grandpa on Krypton.
No.
I did not watch it either, but I guess Lobo was on it. He was apparently quite good.
I don't know a lot about Lobo either.
No.
Because I didn't read any of his comics. I've just seen him on the cartoons and
Yeah,
stuff. And
that's what I'm saying. He just works better, I think, as a supporting character. Like Val Kilmer. If you look at all the Val Kilmer movies, like the great movies that Val Kilmer's in, he's a supporting actor. The bad movies Val Kilmer's in, he's the lead. Like, have you seen The Saint?
Oh, jeez. I don't watch
Or
them.
like Batman? Well, these are all old movies, but like, just think of any movie where Val, except for Top Gun, not Top Gun. Like Top Gun, great movie. Val Kilmer, supporting role. Willow, amazing movie. Val Kilmer, supporting role. Tombstone, great movie. Val Kilmer, supporting role. Batman Forever, not one of the better Batmans. Val Kilmer, lead role. The Saint, not that good. Val Kilmer, lead role.
So should Val Kilmer be Lobo?
No, I don't know how we got onto that. Oh, because, no, and that's, you want to cast the perfect Lobo right now in the DCEU or DC Universe or whatever they're doing? They can't, because they already cast him as Aquaman. Jason Momoa. Now,
He's almost already got the Lobo look to
yeah,
him.
he looks he would have been if you don't go with Andrew Braniarski, who might be aged at this point, you go with Jason Momoa. For comment's sake. Huh?
I don't look like
People
Momoa.
think you do. So let's see what the comments think. Does Jake look like Momoa? Here's Jake. Here's Momoa.
Not with this scraggly homeless looking thing.
Momoa. Momoa looks homeless. Momoa. Anyway, some people say Jacob Biscuits here looks like Jason Momoa. Now we have the internet's opinion. I look like Ben Affleck, so it's like Batman and Aquaman here.
I'll take that. Aquaman's pretty sweet.
Sure. They didn't super change the character. They changed the look, and that's fine. But I just think, like, I was like, as soon as Jason Momoa was cast as Aquaman, I was like, no, man.
I think he could still probably play Lobo because he, with all the makeup and everything, the gray skin and whatnot.
Well, Jamon Houston.
Jamon Houston?
Jamon Houston. I think his name's
No.
Jamon Houston. He was Korath the Pursuer in Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I'm Star-Lord. Who?
Star-Lord?
That guy? No, the buddy from Gladiator.
From the movie Gladiator?
Yeah. You know if you saw him. Anyway, Jamon Houston.
I think I know what you're talking
He was in
about.
Aquaman. He was like the president of the fish people. But then he was also in Shazam. He was like, I am the wizard Shazam. Say my name so my power flows through you. That guy? Anyway, he's been in the DCEU twice. So yeah, Jason Momoa, that's two big roles. But then what happens if you get Aquaman meets Lobo?
CG.
CG, I guess. But
He plays both at different times and they just snap it together.
as soon as they cast him, I was like, oh, and he even almost like had a Lobo-ish attitude in Aquaman. Like, as Aquaman, he was kind of like, I'm here, like surf world, ooh, I'm Lobo. I just thought, fuck, that's the perfect Lobo. He'd be so good for Lobo. I mean, they could still do like just something else. Just have him be Lobo. Jason Momoa for Lobo. Hashtag Momobo.
Momobo?
Hashtag Momobo. Because I would love to see a Lobo movie. As much as I talk about how Lobo's better as a supporting character, I want to see just more Lobo, man.
It would kind of be like a better Punisher.
Space
He's
Punisher.
just going
Wow.
out and he's just messing
Yeah,
everybody's
listen,
day.
There is Space Punisher now. Do you know what Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I've heard of I think you've probably told me about.
I don't know
Cosmic
that's
Ghost
what
Rider.
Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's like Ghost Rider with the flaming skull on like this cosmic motorcycle. He's got like a domed thing for his head, so his skull still flames. Anyway, it's Frank Castle. And I can't remember what exactly his storyline is. Man, this is a great.
Frank Castle becomes
Oh yeah,
Cosmic.
yeah. He like. I can't remember what happened. I think like it's an alternate future. I think Thanos comes and kills everybody on Earth or something, and Punisher's like one of the only people left. And Galactus comes, and at some point he became the Spirit of Vengeance as well, like which is the Ghost Rider thing. Frank Castle became the Ghost Rider, and he makes a deal with Galactus to get Power Cosmic to be like a Herald of Galactus or something. Because I think he's like the only representative of Earth, so he's like, yeah, here, you can have Earth, just give me some power. And he goes in his whole thing is like he wants to kill Thanos or whatever, but he ends up just working with Thanos for 100 years, 1,000 years.
Just working with his
Yeah.
enemy.
But I think at some point he gets a baby and he's like just flying through space raising baby Thanos. Can't remember, but anyway, Space Punisher, Cosmic Ghost Rider. I don't know enough of the character.
They should make Lobo fight Ghost Rider.
That'd be so cool. I would love.
That would be a good fight.
There will be inevitably there will be another DC Marvel crossover, and just hopefully it's done right.
I like when they do that.
I do too, but like if you read back to them, none of them are that great. They did good stuff in the '80s where like they had Batman and Daredevil and Teen Titans and the X-Men and stuff like that, and it's kind of like they existed how they each had their own world, and the history of Marvel had happened and the history of DC happened. Just these crossovers were the only times they crossed over, but they all still lived in the same world. And then like if Batman met Spider-Man later, he could reference something that happened in Batman and Daredevil. It's like they kind of had their own. They each had their own continuities, but then they had their own little continuity there, and it's just, that was a fun way to do it. But. Wow. Yes. Oh, anyway, and then sorry, in the amalgam when they like crossed over, and like Doctor Strange Fate and Iron Lantern and stuff like that, there was Lobo the Duck.
Lobo the Duck.
Lobo the Duck.
Instead of Howard.
Yeah, it was Howard the Duck and Lobo. It was Lobo the Duck.
Lobo
and
the
he
Duck.
just looks like a duck version of Lobo.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what else do you know about Lobo?
That's about it.
That's about it?
That's about all I know about Lobo. Lobo the Duck, Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special, and his time with Young Justice. Those are my Lobo highlights. My Lobo lights. Lobo lights. What are your Lobo highlights?
My Lobo highlights?
Sure.
I don't know. Just off the tidbits I've seen in the cartoon, which I don't think would do him justice. I'd like to see more of Lobo.
Well, you should have watched Krypton.
Well, fair enough, I guess. You could have more Lobo with him still being, a supportive character. I don't know what you would do, but I'm sure there's.
I think it'd be
there's a
great.
whack
Like just
ton of
Lobo
things.
just within everything. But like, see, Lobo would have to to work like that. Lobo would have to be in the Marvel movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's already well established. You could have Lobo pop up in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, then he could pop up somewhere else. Then he could pop up somewhere else. Whereas like with DC, what they're doing, like you almost have to have a Lobo movie to understand who Lobo is first. It's like Wong. Lobo's like Wong. You can have Wong show up in Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange 2 and everything. Like Wong just shows up.
Yeah, just have Lobo show up.
I think Wong's going to be in She-Hulk. So yeah, Lobo could work like that. Because we're never getting a Wong movie.
You just get him to have like a tidbit in one movie, and then the next one he has more.
Yeah. I think if they do it right, he could hold his own movie. But yeah, like, straight up, here's what they do. Here's what you do. Here's what you do, DCEU. Man of Steel 2. Henry Cavill wants to do it. Henry Cavill apparently is like repeatedly like, finding directors and then going to Warner Brothers with the directors being like, hey, here's a director. Let's do Man of Steel 2. Let's do Man of Steel 2. Let's do Man of Steel 2. And they just keep not doing it. But apparently, because there's all these other projects they were working on at different times, and like J.J. Abrams was doing a Superman, and Michael B. Jordan was working on a Superman movie. Like all these people had Superman projects, and I think now they've been like, nope, they've crushed all these Superman projects, and like let's just move forward with a Henry Cavill project, because Henry Cavill is like an amazing Superman. He just needs to get.
He's good.
He's great. I like Henry Cavill.
He's The Witcher.
Yeah, and he's a nerd. Like, so anyway, here's what you do: Man of Steel 2, Lobo.
Yeah, have Lobo come down and fight him.
Darkseid is like, okay, well, this guy screwed up my plans for taking over Earth in Justice League or whatever. He like murdered my nephews or my uncle's. I don't know, whatever happened. But like Darkseid's like, okay, the reason we were going to Earth in Justice League is because there was no Kryptonian, and now there is a Kryptonian. So who do we get to take this out? So have Darkseid, and it's Darkseid's more of a serious, stoic character, and maybe it doesn't work with Lobo, but just have Darkseid hire Lobo to take out Superman. Lobo goes to Earth. Superman versus Lobo. Like that's where he was first introduced in the Superman animated series in the Justice League, in the Bruce Timm universe.
Like have Lobo come down and maybe start fighting the Young Justice or something like that, and then
you have to think of who's established in that universe. But he is a bounty hunter.
And then Superman, who doesn't really know who Lobo is, and it's just like, who's this guy?
Our Superman's not as cosmic, Have Superman versus Lobo. That would be so fun and epic. You could have other stories happening in there as well. I don't know. But you don't want to shoehorn too much in. But basically, Darkseid wants Earth. He tried to get it when there was no Kryptonian to protect it. And he's like, now there's a Kryptonian again. So what can I do to take care of this Kryptonian? You know, he hasn't met Brainiac or anybody like that. Lex Luthor, have Lex Luthor involved in there somehow? Lex Luthor and Superman, can they team up? Or Lex Luthor can have some ideas on how to take out Lobo? And then don't kill Lobo.
We'll have Lex maybe speak with Darkseid the last time that Darkseid came.
Yeah, you got to think of everything's happening. Yeah, there was...
So Lex would talk with him, and then they would decide, and then Darkseid would be like, hey, well, there's this guy.
There's this guy.
I know this guy.
He's a little unorthodox, but he gets the job done.
So how about we
bring in
pool
Lobo.
Some resources together and bring him here?
Yeah, and then
we could both solve our problems.
You pool some resources. I have Earth money. Lex Luthor.
Well,
then,
Lex could obviously come up with something different to assist Darkseid, but then realizing that he made a serious mistake by bringing Lobo to Earth, and then betray Darkseid, and then try to help Superman take Lobo out.
That could even just be the first act. You get the first act, Darkseid's like, okay, we got something, we got to take out the Kryptonian. You cut to a space bar, and Lobo's like, hey, you have a little bar fight action scene. He's like, yeah, I'll do your job. What am I taking out? Oh, Kryptonian? Good. There ain't many of them left. The last Zonian versus the last Kryptonian. Fuck yeah, I'm down for that. I'll even do it for half. Just kidding. Give me double. Oh, or whatever.
Oh.
And that could be the first act, and then Superman like beats up Lobo and sends him off. It's like, okay, well, geez, that was hard. And then this whole time Brainiac is watching or something, or maybe Darkseid. You don't want Darkseid yet. So maybe Brainiac or somebody else shows up, and the Superman's like, oh no, I'm outgunned here, and he goes off to space to find Lobo. He's like, here, I need your help, and he pays Lobo, and then him and Lobo team up, and you can reestablish Lobo as a good guy or the anti-hero, and then set up a Lobo movie. There you go.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
Like Deadpool, like how Deadpool would work, and just just gonna work for money.
He just works for money. Does good things, does bad things. But you can start him off as a villain, get the amazing Superman Lobo fight, but then end up showing him that he will do good things for the right price.
Lobo thinks he kills Superman or something. Or,
Nah, Superman just...
Or actually beats Lobo.
Yeah. Something, I don't know, I didn't write it, I just came up with the idea. Credit, please. Yeah, I don't know the ins and outs, but just that way you get good Lobo, and you set up Lobo as the end for his own thing. And it furthers this Darkseid story, and you get Henry Cavill back and Mr. Turn.
It's okay, there's another one.
There is. I think that's a great idea. That's great. Now, okay, let's brainstorm here really quick, because we're coming up on the end of the show. Who plays Lobo? Assuming Jason Momoa is not a go-go. Jason Momoa is a no-go. No go for Jason Momoa for Lobo. I think Jason Momoa is the perfect Lobo. Who do you go? Do you want to go with like a Dave Bautista? Then he might be tired out from yesterday here. He doesn't want to play Drax anymore. He doesn't like the makeup and stuff like that.
He doesn't want to play Drax?
No. Oh, he's kind of done with playing Drax. I mean, but then like Lobo and movie Drax are pretty similar. Okay,
you could.
Who do you get for
who would
Lobo?
Be a really good Lobo?
Like, to me, you need a broad dude.
Big dude. Yeah.
Do you go with a wrestler? I don't even know who's wrestler. You get, well, the Rock's already Black Adam. Rock doesn't have the right demeanor for Lobo. Jeez, I'm Jason Momoa or Dave Bautista is all I could think of.
For big dudes, yeah.
You have to be a big dude. I don't know who.
They're big guys.
I don't know who current wrestlers are. John Cena, but John Cena's already Peacemaker. I think John Cena could make a good Lobo.
I don't know.
It's kind of, have you seen Peacemaker?
No, I don't think so.
It's fun. Like Lobo, like, hey, I'm a big biker Lobo. Ron Perlman, Hellboy, but he's kind of aged out. Oh, David Harbour even, actually. The newer Hellboy. The Red Guardian and Black Widow. David Harbour could make a good Lobo. He's a little old. Lobo.
Well, Lobo already kind of looks a little older and grizzled, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want somebody who's too young.
No, but you want somebody young enough to carry the franchise.
Yeah.
Don't want somebody 50. Yeah. These are all good choices. Andrew Breniarski, still my number one choice.
You'd almost have to, like, write a script, like a short one, give it to them, and see who does the best Lobo.
That's something else. Okay, now we'll get into a little quick tangent here. When they started building the MCU, I was like, man, why don't you go and do that and give small independent directors a script and a thing and let them come up with a script and just have, like, you can have, before... When you go to the movie, there will be a 20-minute short to introduce some of these smaller characters. Like, oh, I'm going to go see Doctor Strange 2, and Doctor Strange 2 is there, but before Doctor Strange 2, there's a 20-minute unrelated Deathlock short set in the MCU to set up these smaller characters and stuff like that. I thought that would have been awesome. Anyway, back to who should play Lobo. So I think that would be great. Like, make these short films. Punisher, Tom Jane, after the Punisher movie, he made like a short film called Dirty Laundry or whatever. And it's basically a Punisher follow-up. It's not officially a Punisher follow-up, but it's like things like that. Like, just give us these things. Like, they had the Marvel one-shot, so like that, only better. But now we have the Disney Plus series. Anyway, okay. Lobo. Dennis Haysbert? No. Thinking, like, who's biker dude? Like somebody from Sons of Anarchy?
I don't think they're big enough. Because you don't want, like, a skinny Lobo.
No.
You don't want him to have, like, a bodysuit or something that's going to make the actor uncomfortable and ruin his performance.
Yeah, so you do need, like, a Lou Ferrigno, but better than that.
He's getting a little old.
Yeah, but who are the big jack dudes in Hollywood now?
The Rock? Momoa?
There's a guy, I think his name is Dash Mihawk. I might be thinking of the wrong guy. He's not jacked or anything, but he's like bigger, but he always ends up playing like these smaller meat characters. Did you see the Punisher with Ray Stevenson? Punisher Warzone?
I don't know.
Oh, he's like Detective Soap in that. Anyway, he's this guy. I like him. He wouldn't, I don't know if he'd make a good Lobo.
You also need that demeanor too.
Yeah,
it's like it's not just the look and how big they are. Like, they have to be Lobo.
You need to be big and imposing in both personality and body.
Yeah.
You'd almost have to go with a rat. Like, you know what? Triple H.
Triple H. It's not bad, actually, when I think about it.
Paul Levesque. He's not the best actor. He might be better now, because last thing I saw him in was The Chaperone or Blade Trinity. But
what, 7 years ago?
Blade Trinity?
10 years ago?
Blade Trinity.
How long ago was that?
20 years ago? Probably not 20, but it was probably quite some time ago.
That's a hard one. That is a hard one.
Who do you cast as Lobo? Obviously, we'll throw it out.
Me. I'll play Lobo.
I'll play Lobo.
Yeah, you'd make a good Lobo.
I could. You need the hair, but obviously the hair wouldn't be real.
No, you just get a wig.
I'm trying to think, like, who were those big dudes? 10, 20 years ago, Brad Garrett could have done it. Everybody Loves Raymond. Did The Boys. Anyway, comment below, please. Who do you think should play Lobo? Because we obviously can't decide. Anyway, this has been Comic Drive. Like, subscribe, comment, and
hope you like it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do it again because we do it anyway. So why not record it?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Say bye.